Hey, this is Justin with DayTradeTheMarkets.com, and in this brief video I want to talk about what we consider to be the biggest advantages any day trader can have. Now before I get into those advantages and how you can use them to stack the odds of success more in your favor, let's take a quick look at the flip side of that, some of the major reasons why most traders tend to struggle first. There are obviously a lot of potential reasons that traders can struggle, but one of the most prevalent that we see, and certainly one that I've battled quite a bit in my past, is that a lot of traders tend to focus too much on trade setups or on following a system. Okay, in other words, most traders focus mainly on their trade entry setups and then basically take those trades without much knowledge or without much consideration of the context or what's going on in the market. And when you do that, you're taking a trade based on some setup criteria or some indicator-based rule that you've decided on or that you've learned. And when you do that, you just have to hope that when you take one of those trades, the market's in agreement. What I mean by that is if, let's say, for example, you're taking a momentum trade or a breakout trade. Well, if you do that, you basically have to hope the market's in a trending mode. And if not, that trade setup is certainly in trouble. Or conversely, if you're taking, let's say, a reversal type of a trade or a reversion to the mean type of a trade, for example, when you take that trade, you have to hope the market's in a consolidation mode. And again, if it's not, that trade's going to be in trouble. I'm sure that a lot of you can relate to that. I know, we speak to a lot of traders and we speak to a lot of guys and ladies that are really close to success. In other words, they have success at times, they do well at times, but they can't seem to have that consistent success. They're not getting the results that they know that they're capable of. And I think what we found is that the concept I'm going to talk about is something that's often kind of the missing link, that missing piece of the puzzle, if you will, that allows you to have a real breakthrough in your trading. So think about it like this. It's kind of a subtle thing, but I hope you can see what I'm saying. Rather than the normal trader or the average trader who is trade setup focused and then hopes the market agrees with that trade setup so that everything falls into place, what if you could do a better job of making sense of the market? What if you could see the market more clearly and understand what the market's likely to do? In other words, what if you could put the market into context first? And then once you have a pretty good feel for the market context, for what the market's doing, then focus on finding a suitable trade entry setup or trade entry location. You see how it's kind of flipped? So again, rather than trade entry and then hope the market context matches, focus first on making sense of the market, putting things in context, putting the market in context, and then find a trade entry spot that matches that market context. Okay, hopefully that makes some sense. I'm telling you, this was really a breakthrough for me, and it's what we have seen to be kind of the missing piece of the puzzle for so many traders that we've worked with. So, getting back to the topic at hand, what do we consider to be the biggest advantages a trader can have? And in our opinion, they are, number one, having a method for seeing the market more clearly. That's a huge advantage. And number two, having a method for making better trading decisions, also a huge advantage. So in speaking about having a method for seeing the market more clearly, you need better information. If you really want to see the market more clearly, you need a quality tool. It's tough to rely on, at least in our opinion, it's tough to rely on the traditional technical indicators that basically what they're telling you is what already happened with price action. To have an advantage, frankly, you need to understand what's kind of going on under the surface or under the hood of the market, so to speak, with the order flow. And you need to have a clear understanding of what we call the phases of the auction. In other words, is the market likely to consolidate? Is it likely to break out? Is it likely to grind higher or grind lower? Is it likely to be choppy? I could go on and on, but I think you get the idea. It's about being able to see the market more clearly and have an understanding of why the market's doing what it's doing and what the market is likely to do next. That's really powerful, and frankly that's the skill that needs to be developed if you want to take your trading to the next level, and that's something that we really focus on. And in terms of having a method for making better trading decisions, we look at ourselves and we look at our as traders as what we call professional decision makers. So again, not a professional system follower, not a black and white paint by numbers ABC rule following robot. Okay, decision makers. And to make the best possible trading decision, you need a method for being able to put the market in context. You need a method of making sense of what you're seeing, and if you can do that, you certainly can stack the odds so much more in your favor. So I guess the next question is, how can you see the market more clearly and then make better trading decisions? I can certainly tell you one way that I really believe in. I know that I've never seen the market more clearly than I currently do, and that's certainly been the overwhelming feedback that we've been getting from people who are doing the same. And basically it comes down to, if you have a better tool, you have better market clarity, and you make better market decisions. And throughout this site, you're going to learn about the DayTrade the Market software and what it is. It's a unique breakthrough tool that's going to help you make better sense of the market in real time. It's going to provide you with several pieces of what we call evidence. First being what we call relative aggression bars, which show you in real time by analyzing the true order flow in the market, whether buyers or sellers are in control right now. And believe me, these alone are going to do an incredible job of helping you see the market so much more clearly than you're probably used to. We also have what we call deceleration and divergence bars, which show you again in real time when buying or selling aggression is slowing down, which can tell you likely turning points when the market's out of gas, so to speak. Real-time support resistance zones are another piece of evidence. Those show up on the chart in real time to show you areas of expected short-term support or resistance and help you avoid bad trades and get into what we call good trade location, where you have the odds in your favor. We also have a real-time filter, which is analyzing order flow and some key market structures to help you stay on kind of the path of least resistance at any given time. And then also we like to take a look at the bigger picture. We have a bigger picture bias and some key support resistance barriers from the bigger picture, longer term, so that you can stay in flow with the market, again, kind of on a longer time frame basis. And the way that it all comes together, each of the pieces of evidence that I mentioned here and are listed here, each of these give you great evidence on their own. But the true power, however, is when you have the patience and when you have the discipline to wait for 2 or 3 or 4 or even 5 of these pieces of evidence to line up. And that's what we call confluence. That's when you can really stack the odds in your favor. That's when you have a very high probability chance of success. And I think it's important here. Notice I didn't say 100% chance of success. I said a higher probability. This isn't the holy grail, and nothing is. Hopefully you figured that out by now. But what this will do is it will help you increase your edge. And at least in our opinion, that's all you should ever be wanting as a trader. Trading, again, is a game of probabilities, and as a trader, it's our opinion you should always be looking for a way to stack the odds more in your favor, a way to increase your edge. Also, throughout this site, you're gonna see other videos where we break down and show examples of exactly what each component of the software is telling you and how it all comes together. We're going to talk in depth about the concept I just mentioned of confluence trading, which I think you're going to find really interesting. Also talk about a concept that we call direction then location, which basically we show you several trade setups that work in varying market conditions. And again, the big difference from how the majority of traders look at this is it's not setup focused. You're not taking these trade setups blindly. You're first learning to put the market into context, and then you take those trade setups. Okay, and again, that's kind of the true skill in trading. And there's that old saying, if you give a man a fish, he eats today. If you teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And it's kind of the same thing in trading. That's the skill. If you can learn to put the market in context, then certainly trading can be very rewarding. So if you found this at all intriguing, please take some time, go through the videos and the examples on the site. I recommend starting with the video called How Does It Work? That's going to give you a thorough rundown of how this all comes together, some examples and so forth. Plus, there's obviously a lot of other information about myself and Dave and some reviews and that sort of thing as well, examples. And obviously, don't hesitate with any questions whatsoever. We'll get back to you very quickly. In most cases, we're happy to, and we're going to clarify anything that you might question at all. So again, thanks for taking the time to visit our site, watching this video, and we absolutely look forward to hearing from you. Okay, talk to you soon.